Oh, I left off in quarry mill. Letter. Idleshire. Dude, there's a fucking nail bagel here. Might be David, I think. I could not get more white or black dyes. And some others, but mainly white or black. Ugh. Where are you? You. Small child. Precious. No. What shit do you want from me this week? Hopefully, double, maybe. I haven't actually tried that solo yet. I might need to be paladin for like self-healing, but whatever. Doable, easy, doable. And technically easy because this is running a dungeon, but you know what I mean. I'm just basically gonna be doing a bunch of my weekly shit on this and also grinding class. Pretty much I'll be doing it anyway, and I was like, you know, was off basically the entire week except for the weekend. I'm just kinda like, hey, what if you just did one midweek just to keep, I'll say just to keep stats or whatever, but, you know. Get in the zone, arguably. Also, we haven't really, like, shown what the day-to-day non-progress shit is, I suppose. What do you want this week? Glass eyes. Glass eyes can be found by Sharan or the blue window. How's that? Alright, that's reasonable enough. Solid shit to do with Monago. I also have to actually start the Doman deliveries, but we'll get to that. Yeah, we'll do the deliveries first, actually. So if I turn up a level 60 like treasure dungeon map and David comes online during the stream, I can go harangue him into joining me. Not him and Lucy, if they're both about, that is. What am I doing? Minor. Quiet up. It's like I said, I was going to do it anyway, so I might as well do it on stream. Hell is that? That's like a regular quest. It is. Why was that specifically singled out? Let's see that. Document that. Not sure if there's anything in that unspoiled spot that I'd want. But if we make good time on these, then probably. I need to go get like fucking... Actually, when I build these up across all this shit, I should be able to get some cordial. Hey! There we go. One sec. Churning mists. Alright. Just doing that because when I have it open, I'm pretty sure that means if I find another one, I can keep it. Because you can only keep one of each type in your thing. What is it again? This, and then we beaten that. Excellent. Glorious, then you can do that. It's this one, isn't it? There we go. They really need to get like cordial though. So with like this next batch of gatherer scripts. So I can actually do this more efficiently instead of fucking about. Actually, what I will do then is go hunt that one, because that's some distance away. I'll give the time of the GP to build back up, and then I'll be able to just probably do the same. I mean, not if it's a 4 method one, I'll probably get one out of it. I haven't actually worked out a lot of the most efficient way to do these things, apart from that when I get like a 5 use one. Actually, that was technically 4 uses. You just need 500 GP because you used the one used to get the map. So never mind, I'm talking shit, and that's how little attention I pay to myself when I'm actually doing these things. I don't think I remember this spot. Or actually, maybe I do. I forget what's added though. It's probably just like rarefied sand and bottled water. Which is nice to have, and I may as well take if it's there, but I won't go crazy trying to get the rarity out of it. No, this is actually further than I thought. Way further than I thought. What do you got? I guess the red quartz. I'll probably find a use for that, maybe. The sun's on the run. Chance to eat. Aye, there's the rub. Completely refill my GP by the time I get back. Excellent. That's what you want to see. need like 6 of these because I think they don't change anymore. I keep forgetting that because I'm really good at this. I don't pay that much attention to it. I'm pretty sure we just need all 6 of these, hand them in, we're good with her. Then we need to go get Monagos, and I need to actually find out who gives it in Doma. And then, while we're in Doma, actually, we can do something else too. Just say Doman Reconstruction, which is still ongoing. It takes forever. Granted, there was like a few weeks there where I forgot to do it. But it still takes fucking forever. So, Medley is a bit of luck, but you know. Bow. And you still got your 2 out of it. I don't know if I can get another 2 out of the next one. Maybe, actually. No, maybe not. Could be done with these, though. This is what I need to get like actual cordial supplies for, so I don't have to like mill about like this in between attempts. I wondered for the longest time where these fucking things were until I was out here doing basically this. I saw them. For a second it looked like they had their hands up like they were on a fucking box, but now they're just living in terror. Nah, you really fucked it. Slap him out. Actually, don't die. Yeah. I mean, that just increases my limit. But that will last long enough, I think. I think even that carries across classes, class changes. Not just the EXP welfare game. There it is. You're 1 out of it. That brings us at 5. I need 1 more. Pardon me. Yeah. There we go. Alright. What was I looking for? Oh yeah, I was waiting to see if another spot would pop back up to a little cheeky peek for a second map. I don't think that's gonna happen though. Nah, I will take these. GFL is in a bit of a lull where I have big stockpiles. I didn't use as many of my resources in light ranking as I expected to, actually. So, well, not my 4 main resources anyway. Well, now I'm like run out of like friendship items, so I'm getting increasingly fucked on those. But my main resources are fine. No, not even those. See a lot of that chocolate one glancing about. I don't know or didn't hear about what it was, if there is even such a campaign for it here in the UK or whatever. Probably was, but I no need to pay attention to because I don't want it. And it probably also involves buying, pardon me, chocolates. I'm maxed out on white gallery scripts, but I'm not allowed to get, like, spend them anywhere. So, fuck. You need to do my minor quests as well, actually. Actually, we're really full on these as well, so I'll be able to get that fucking cordial after all. I forget who has it. One of them out here has the shit. Not you, is it you? No, it's script exchange. I think. Yes. Yes. There we go. Love to see it. That was water cordial, which I think is actually, yeah, lower. And the last one in. Bless Zoe. She tries so hard. This is a low. This is a lowy. Whichever. I'm not sure she even knows, if I'm being honest. Anyway, we have now helped one cat girl with her father, funding her orphanage to care for the children, displaced children. So let's go look at the other one, doing kind of the same thing. Although hers is not an orphanage, it's just a fund for widows and children. Widows and orphans from the war. A bit bleaker. Just a bit. Thing? No, you're the hunt for me. Who's the... One of these around here is like... I think it's this one. Yeah, so like... This is like a dungeon, which is based on, or is a sequel to... a dungeon from, Heavensward? Like a post-game optional dungeon called the Fractal Continuum? Which is nuts. And I think we should do that when we're gathered for stuff. What am I doing? Nago, that's what I'm doing. Yeah. It says it should be on soonish. What do you want this week? Alright, no, because she's still in the quote-unquote story arc, so... Maybe only 2 of these will be needed, I don't know. Well, they go out to Doman at any rate. For that we need F14. It's a custom delivery, yes. Palace of Lost Souls. Ah, it's the Ruby Sea, right? Fathoms below. Oh, this is the quest line right to that. Okay, wait, there's a third one? Stormblood has a third. Fuck. Okay, where is he? Arms wide open. Alright, arms wide open is Lois, Purple Rain. He's on the Azimu step. Between a rock and a hard place. Which is in Idle Shire. There's much to be done. Wait, I don't write this. Not the third guy with the go to do a quest in the Azim Step and then back to Idleshire. The middle one, she is all in Sweet Osato. So there's David and Lucy then. Should say Lucy and David in that order actually, but you know. One's in Idleshire, one's in... I guess what I should do is go out, get the presumed 2 coins I'll need for Monagos, run the Azim Step quest, because that will actually be the zone over from where these coins are, because they're in the Ruby Sea. And then go back, do Sweet Osato, unlock her, and then come back here and unlock the other guy. Maybe after doing the Sweet Osato gatherings, I don't know. Not that I have to be strictly efficient with this, but because I have A, money, and B, a pretty cheap method of teleporting to Doman anyway. Well, first I should probably go. Where was it again? Churning Mists. Alright. Tank it up. Okay, let's find the spot. Well, that seems immediately suspicious. It's not quite that. It's gonna be one like that, though. Aye, there it is. This is a lot more. I didn't realize this would billow as much as it did. I don't know. It's kind of the risk we're using this one. Risk, so to speak. Not that you see anything. Oops. I was messaging David. I'm pretty sure this is the spot. Someone watered like Lucy's plants in the FC garden, but you don't have to be in an FC to be able to water plants. To harvest them, I assume, yes, but not water them. So, thanks to the mystery, just passing helping hand person. Alright, zoom in. I'm pretty sure this is it. Yeah, that looks pretty much right. Pretty much here. Here they come. At least he wasn't even here first and she's already... I guess she picked a better. Orphan. I do have the keyboard. Should still be wired to the PS5. Yeah. Oh god. You showed me that yesterday when he got it. I still can't get over it. Alright, let's dig. How do I speak to Evan from a distance? Yeah, I love level 80 Dark Knight, even if my weapon's still level 70. Yes, sick, let's... That's not a dungeon. Damn it. One time. I'm on screen. Recorded our past attempts. Just for use at some point. It's just because I was hoping we could get it. Away he goes. Might as well. I already grabbed mine, but business in Idleshire all the same. Do I? I feel like I do. Who's Gamma? I already done her shit. Maybe we'll get one of these yet. Nifty. Is that the animation? I always have the screens up so I never see what the animation looks like. Look at us fucking posing. Whoops. He makes the Black Mage level 70 gear look better on him than it does on me, I must say. It does David. Hey. Shit, in we go. Alright. The furthest we got was like room 6, I think. The second DPS are fucking meltdowns. Usually these kits can be surprisingly sturdy. Really, the other door is open. To be fair, David is also Black Mage this time, which is just the big fucker, even in Heaven's Word tier, because he has access to Fire and Wizard 4. Beefier than Samurais at this level. She entered, she's the boss in this one, so I guess I should let her pick, but I'm certain it's this one. I saw the sparkle. Yeah. Pop all of them this time? It did. Bastards. Oh, good. I did open. shit. It was well timed, to be fair. That looks big and mean. Of course. All of them are immediately here. I respect your white mage power, but you probably shouldn't. I'm having a habit of opening all the cages at once now. I'll need that one. Just try it. Read this. The thing is, you don't have to beat Aquapolis to get the tile in your diary if you get it. Might not be fucked. It might not be fucked. May not be fucked yet. It's fucked. Mario, is it? The churning lists. I think I've seen this one before. Alright, the map. This is, it's like, it's one of those, like, these spots. So it's somewhere on this side of the map, I know it, but it's like covered in shit right now. I think it is. I could be wrong about that. If not, not Sorkai, it's not Zenith. Is that it? Not quite it. And that's just a search. Well, I guess that confirms them. I was wondering earlier, we didn't actually get it. The hell is this? I feel like I've seen this one before, and I've done this before, but it wasn't a dungeon, it was just a regular treasure. Suppose that is true, it was months exclusive in Japan. I want to say it's that, but it's not that. Ah, there it is. I knew that was over there. On like this general side of the map. Inventory. Not my day today. This dancing man with his slick ass skills. Getting some of those is the best thing we've done. Not print line. Yeah. This will be saucy spoilers for Vault viewers or anyone who walks in for when I meet up with Chris again for the post-game stuff. As I'm pretty sure Evan doesn't know about it. Let's not discuss it. Let's just call it a shortcut. A tax-free route to Doman. I have a third routine to hold on to big piles of equipment, but because she's Fisher and she's near my level cap, she's not been doing much. Alright, I might as well take that now. It's pennies, but you know, they're my pennies. Take me back. No. this guy back into Kugai. Was technically I could have just teleported to the Ruby Sea from here, but you know, weird and shit. Another triumphant man stands tall. Yeah, Ruby price. Right. These things are like over here. On the other side of the volcano. The volcano that very clearly is like the shape or head of something. But we haven't done anything about that yet. I'm going to assume the primal, like the post-game primals are involved with that. Let me see. Alright. Not these ones, it is the other ones. We were making that mistake last time. That's something I still have to do. Still need to do Heaven on High. At all. I'm kind of torn on, you know, at least doing the quote-unquote storyline of it, so like floors 1 to 30, where all the shit related to, because everything after that is just optional floors. Or, you know, just fucking going for it and see if I can manage it better than the Managed Palace of the Dead. I might even, because I have had the attempt of another rebuild for the Red Mage solo run in Palace of the Dead sitting there. I'm half tempted to try that again, but we'll see. Yeah. So yeah, as I said, I still need to do my minor quests, so I'm missing like a slew of abilities from like 60 to, or between like 50 and 70 or 50 and 60, whatever. Doesn't matter too much. I think we only need those two because she'll level up and want something else once I hand them in. If I'm wrong on that, it doesn't matter too much. I said the Azim step is just one zone over, but Sweet No Sato is literally in this zone. So I could, I say Sweet No Sato, you know what I mean. Ah, my nose. Is it Namoi? Is that the underwater one? Tamamizu, that's the one. Which I think is literally below water, I forget. There it is. And the village we're looking for is, yeah, so it's just near the next one over. Let's be thematically relevant. Let's do samurai for this. Hammers could not be restored. What ones? Like some of my gear? Sword and everything's in place, that's what matters. Yeah, well, it must be like earrings and shit, but who cares? I need to do it because I need to get spear fishing off this guy. I need to like start leveling fishing again. I might do a bit of that. Turtle guys have a lot of quests to get to, which I might just do for giggles at some point. Sweet Nosato. Since the Stormblood collectibles have done past a lot of souls, we need to do fathoms below, and quests come out of that. Right, where's fathoms below? Wait for survival, Bolting Brothers, taste. What is love? Probably fathoms below. Alright, no, that's the one. What's he like? That's the tank gear Emperor, I think. It's like a mix of the tank gear and some of the other ones from that dungeon. I think it's like the white mage skirt, but the tank gear, like top and gloves. I think, anyway. Kind of figured that, even though this is all building. So who were the court jesters, or whoever the fuck, who, you know, summoned the hell demon in the palace? It's fine, you do what you do. Oh, you're pretty cool with that. I mean, you're not leaving without me. Alright. do really like the look of these areas though. The Doman side of things really got like the full tilt attention and care for the aesthetics. Amigo kind of got shafted, honestly. By design, it kind of had to be, I suppose, but it feels like they still could have done more of it. Materia, although I don't even keep rank 5 materia around myself anymore. I think. No, I'm keeping everything below rank 5, like 4 and below are all gone, or being sold off or whatever. Onokoro is the pirate shithole, though, isn't it? It's a bit of a shithole, though. Kind of by virtue of the fact that they're pirates, grant you, but you know. I suppose to be fair, is still better than them settlements, so. Am I going to have to smack pirates? I feel like I'm a yep. Yeah, lost. Oh, I see what we're gonna be doing here. We're gonna be chasing this guy over the place. Marco Polo was not meant to announce his arrival. No, he didn't actually. Supposed to be fair, this is usually where you see people. Like, this is Heaven on Highs around here. The guy who hosts it actually is right there. This is more people than I've seen standing here than usual. Okay. It does seem pretty old. Potions seem to have a lot of good shit going on, must be said. Rituals, their magics, potions. Got a lot of good shit going on. We're fishing. It was about as graceful as I hoped. Why is that the one for the loading screen? Bit eager to be saying that now. He changed his tone pretty quick from when I first met him, must be so. It's funny to see that. Yeah, pretty good lot, all told. Well, they might try to pry business out of you for this. To be fair, if it is as rare and powerful an elixir as it is, that is something of legitimate value that they can make good use of themselves. But not on Mor, dude. Unlike, say, the Namazu. These fucking things. I think those are explicitly just lights when it's nighttime. Why are you up here? I mean, I have you. I have at least, well, I guess, you know, one of them is up top waiting for me to make good on that treasure deal that will involve slaying some more local gods. But there is, you know, the village elder. My nose. Hang on. I'm trying to breathe out through my nose without rattling it too much, but when it's clogged, it's clogged. we'll find a bloated one somehow, somewhere. Exile is like a little pocket I wandered into once and wondered what the point of it was beyond just being a really neat little thing. Actually, no. This is a place I haven't been to at all. It's like another wee water bubble pocket somewhere that's just a little cave. There's some enemies in it. I'm never wondering what, what is it for? I guess it must be for someone's quest in the area. Hey. One like this, in fact. And knowing my luck, yeah. So that's the maybe. Naked one. The shellless ones, it's precious. Smaller and no shell. What's up, buddy? Didn't even get the build up to I should have popped the back here. Usually. Oh, whatever. That's a big shell we're gonna be carting back, just fucking covering ourselves and walking through all this. Wrestling the naked ones away from it as they try and take the new freely made shell. Well, that's someone that's here that wants to stand then. Jacket. It's actually pretty close to Sweet Nosado. There should be doing another class for these. Just dump her on her elbow. It is funny that was used, sort of like eggs that might not have hatched though. That's an interesting thing. Is that why it's a sprinkle? You've been in a devil coma. I suppose, yeah. Yeah, probably not, eh? Yeah. Har. that's a funny one to get when I'm doing it on stream. Have they already swapped? I was looking at their horns, but I got... Or perhaps they're both joking with me anyway. Oh, Blast. Did we not weigh it back? Right. Now I need to go to Kugane. But first... Reunion. Who needs words? The words are trivial. They really hate words. There it is. Need to do that one. This one to get experience points. It's probably gonna be a dangerous task. Yeah. Yeah, quietly flexing my other DPS classes while we're in the run up to all the raids and shit. I figure I'm gonna be running tank for all the like 8-man stuff, so it'll be me and Evan because that's what Chris prefers, so that he can control. He has, you know, like, what is it? Not control, so he has like a grip. He's in communication with us, and thus has a grip on where we both are and what we're about to do. I guess, as the other tank just often doing shit, you know, like annoys him or has annoyed him before, which probably speaks to the tanks we've gotten. Probably speaks that we're spoiled by him. Alright. It's been a little bit since I've done Black Mage, so... Here's all my shit. Do this. That's what I figured, because it's a thing. Yeah, okay, now I remember. Let's get the time back. You're already dead, never mind. Yeah, Black Mage is just stupid strong, honestly. Like, it is ludicrous powerful. Which honestly is the best way for it to be, and I'm glad they did that. I'm glad it's just all giant hell punches. I think I should apologize to them for like pinching that Numite and all. But, well, I figured everyone was hitting need on the silks and shit as well anyway, unless they didn't want them. The Numite, though, I'm pinching because, you know, we got plans. And I'll need a bunch of them later. I'm gonna be doing another Heavensward Relic. What the hell was Stagger? The Dark are the largest, huh? Less than 8 attempts on his life, Jesus. I'll pop a quest to open in Idleshire. And we're gonna go back to Kugane. So let's pop the guy. We'll pick that one up and do it. Where is he? There he is. This is not the right way. Now I have a different person up there. Plus, it gives me an idea. Not for right now, an idea for later. Unconcealed interest. I am she. I do notice actually, just because it's on the same page as done page a bit. Hang on. We got business to do back in the firmament. That's right, I remember that. I remember that's something I wanted to do as well at some point. We began doing it in the middle of one of my Stormblood streams while waiting for a timer to go off. A questline involving the Count Duran there and like the firmament in Ishgard. It's like a follow-up to finishing like the Ishgard restoration. I just saw what the end of that is, so I should go and deal with that. Hey, a bit late to put your boot into, you know, assisting, actually maybe not. They could probably join the Doman Alliance before long. Not that I want to see them do much fighting, because they're not very big. Well, I say that, but they seem that, like, given they have a whole massive palace and everything, maybe they're more widespread and powerful than I realize. Yeah, who are you? Hello, Evan. Yeah, I noticed that there. When I glanced on the page, I was going to say, like, oh, the Shadowbringer's delivery person let you hand in 12 items a week. And then I glanced down and I noticed it said Heaven's Word. I was like, what? And then it said also Heaven's Word. It's like, oh. So I can probably go grab them while I'm at it. Ah, the House of Splendors. That would do it. You don't realize just exactly how much of a rampaging capital, like, you know, like, mad treasure and resource empire that Rowena has. She's like a capitalist shark, but she stands more in the background than, like, the overt evil of the Aldanian lot. Well, she helps us quite a bit. More so than they, I would argue. One knows the good weapons, and that's more important than anything. Let's be real. I suppose that's the other true part. More than anything, these ones can actually be driven by altruism, even though half their employees are jackasses, and well, everyone has been a bit merciless before in, say, practically enslaving people, which is to say, Geralt, the poor bastard. Reasonable argument. So is the gimmick going to be she might be like a crafter's only one, or can actually be gathered? No, you can gather them. Yeah. You can either craft them outright or gather the ingredients. Or just cure fish. I know, right? It's kind of nuts to think that you might miss the fact that, like, the person who supplies all of, like, the mad endgame weapon shit for each thing is as far-reaching, powerful, and fucking ruthless as she actually is, while also being actually very altruistic, because she's also responsible for Chloe, tiny cat child, being able to give you mad riches for filling in a diary every week. It's fun. It's fun the way all that connects up. I recently discovered, because I went back to get a replica for glamour reasons, and like, Geralt's assistant in the Around Reborn relic quest stuff is actually the guy who runs the Logos machine and is an assistant to him there in Eureka after being absent in Heavensward, and that's really funny. That's the real good shit. Anyway, where are you? Shit. Rust Rock. Alagama. Sick. Alright. Back on a jiffy. I have to go to Ralgar's Reach anyway. This game has mad content. Kind of balk at the amount of content it has and the way it actually links shit together across lots of side content as well. Even some of the most incidental little side quest things can just suddenly, like, be madly relevant later in funny ways, or even just funnily relevant to other things later on. Where is this? Wait, no, it's not Ralgar's Reach, it's Idleshire. Ah, whatever. Let's just go to Alagana. Actually, wait, I could have given Monago the delivery thing, but I was like, fuck, whatever. I wager it'd be about 3 of these at high quality to get Kurenai over the level 2. But I will get a 4th just to be sure. There we go. Yes. Yes. Oh. Now we will go chase that. A, out of curiosity, and B, because it will refill my GP by the time I get back. It's actually pretty close anyway, judging by that swift... that shift, rather. What do you got? Fuck it, someone probably wants it. High quality is probably more desirable, but for now I just pile it up. I collect this one. Nah, I'm glad it doesn't let me do something stupid like that. And just take your own. Alright, 4 should be enough for that. We have Minagos too, so let's go back to Religer's Reach, hand them in, level her up, and then go see what she wants next. At least I'm pretty sure those two will level her up anyway. Been a lot more delivery and item gathering and management this stream than I expected. I was expecting to, like, get the Stormblood ones up and running, and then off we go. But now I realize there's 2 Heavensward ones I can probably do as well. I also didn't realize there'd be a quest chain for for one of them. Alright, how about you? Maybe another one would have got us over. Yeah, we do need a 3rd one. I don't know. So I can grab that when I come back for... Karnai. Or Nai. Idleshire. Yes. Not you. Why? Do you need something on me? I do. Yeah, you can't take those. Actually, no, you can't, because I can only get white scripts out of those, and I'm already sitting at max. Apologies. Oh. that's interesting. I just realized Adakar is the brother of the guy we did that quest for. Fucking legged it halfway around the world after 8 attempts on his life to open a bar. Honestly, don't blame you. I do kind of question the attire though. Woes, Larry. Everyone fucked off to Japan. We got no business. Louis, I have supplied you with such mad things. Where's all that money going that you're still eating, like, steel flatbread? She really does get a lot to them kids. Place to hide? She got used to the bread. My preferred option would be... Oh. The hell is it? Got guns and everything. Yeah, man, don't even actually try me. I will, like, I'm level 80. I will put this through your skull and I will mine your brains out. The Ellison, the Guardian Pompadour Mafia. You're not wrong. It is kind of funny to me that, at least so far, this has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Adkira here, actually, sorry, is he's a dude the heir to the largest tribe on the Azim steppe and has legged it halfway around the globe to run, I guess it's not quite a dive, in Idleshire, Goblin Town in the countryside of Ishgard. That's a hell of a run. Right, so what do you want? Said 4 deliveries. Spark stones, which come from the other ones next to the coins. So does he share his ones with Nago, or do all the Stormblood ones share theirs? I guess we'll find out. So we'll be going back to Kurenai. Actually, yeah, for now I'll leave the 2 firmament per for a sec. So, wait, I see you. Boom. Crab kicks. That's a lot of GP though. Thank you, my good sir. Thank you, Evan. You're right. It does require nourishment. I will lose that. Where is it? Away he goes, off into the night. Tell him easier. Okay, so we give 2 to Monaco. You're a script exchange out here, huh? Yeah. Okay, the Stormblood 3 all share. Yeah, I know. Okay, so they all share stuff. Their delivery kind. So I guess to be fair, we will give you 2. Yeah, we'll give you your 2, hold on to the other ones, and then we'll go get spark stones for the guy, and that way we'll keep everyone roughly level. I know where spark stones are, but first I want to have a nosy at this hidden one. Another one of these points. Okay, let's grab the 2 I know of while I'm here. Live keyboard. Yeah, it was here. This might even bump, maybe bump Black Ranger will I? Not quite, actually it's not that much, but still nice to have. One of these little nestled corners I haven't been to. gold in your pockets. Hey. Good shit. Alright, let's go grab them spark stones. We must have nutrition, of course. The only thing with firmament related pairs, that they're probably going to be trickier to get max thing on, given that I have, like, it's a good set. It's a pretty good set. It's all like level 80, all around like the dwarven set stuff. Again, bless that guy I ran into during Ishgard Restoration. He was this offer. He initially only offered like a pickaxe he had spare that he made for someone, and when I was like, "Hey, can I have it?" I hit level 80, but I only have like level 60 gear. After like, you know, being up willing to get it from me, he's like, "Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make a whole outfit," and he did. I did give him recompense. I gave him like a lot of, I think it was mithrite sand, which he needed to build it, but he was also going to use for other shit. So I, you know, bought a bunch of that, gave it to him. And I did give him like a good whack of a few 100,000 for it, which he didn't ask for. I just gave him it because I was kind of like, this is only fair. You love to see it. Hell yeah. Alright, so our business over here is not actually done. We're gonna make a stopover at the Enclave to hand that in. And then we'll bounce back to Idleshire, hand these in to the guy. And then I will actually pause the gathering briefly to... Actually, no, we'll stay at the gathering. I'll have the food buff going on. That doesn't matter. What does matter, though, is... there's so much of these, and it's almost purely just because of Eureka. These things are so actually piss common in Eureka, it's not even funny. Which is probably the intent. Like these and like one of the Fieldcraft demi-materia sets, like tiers 1, 2, and 3 are all pretty common. They all sell super well in shops as well. The idea is probably literally to like help you fuel this with items. And so much that I don't even need to care about going over the gratuity amount. It doesn't matter. It literally does not matter to me, just have them. See, last we were at, the farmer managed to get like some of the big ox like zoes from the Azim Steppe guys. Yeah. Yeah, really. That's why I just have the big pile of it on. Sure, like once like after this, the gratuity should hit 200%. Or it should, it's 180 right now. Once it's 200%, I can literally just get away with giving them one at a time. Or not to talk to the basket. There we go. Coming along very nicely. Like, she's got her office built up, like all the paperwork and manufacturing stuff is done back there. Big food production court over there. Food production, maybe food court over there is great. There's houses about. I did do the quest line in Mor Dhona. You go back, you do like have some shenanigans with like the Doman escapees, Doman refugees there. Do business, help their kids find fun, and give them a little life with your guy in Mor Dhona, and then also help them all pack up and get back here once everything was done. So they're all already back in the bit in cutscenes and shit here. Yeah, this is changed completely. I do like how much the change actually shows visually. When you come over here, it's like just like really dirty mud on the ground everywhere. It's like not been trod on. The like all the big pools are like littered with dispatched trees, big stones and shit. Now look at it. That building behind it just wasn't there. Now, speak of the devil, there they are. They've got the little hats that they were given by the people of Mor Dhona. Yeah, actually, you're right. Because that's right, the Idleshire kept like shifted all up, but that one's just like fixed in stone. I kind of like that this one is one you can do when you get here, so you actually see it progress as you go. Well, of course, the Firmament Ishgardian Restoration is more like the Idleshire one, but given the much different nature of that one compared to this one, that's fine. It was pretty rad to be there when it was going up. So, who's this? Hey. Bless. That was probably not much of a school yet, I would imagine. Yo. Even Mor Dhona was built up. They did reference that, you know, it had improved in points. Like, they mentioned, like, once the Scions made it their base and, you know, stuff with the Crystal Tower and all that, apparently it got built up in size. But I thought that was just, you know, just chatter. I didn't realize it was also actually, like, changed and grew. So that's fun. That means that idea had been there since A Realm Reborn's patches, at least. Like, changing the world in response to either story or, you know, like, player influence and stuff. And they just made it gradually more player involved. Well, directly player involved, and just kept with that for each expansion then. That's pretty nifty. So they do make a lot of reference to Mor Dhona being, you know, like a little, you know, just like a little trading outpost at best. But when you get there at night, like, the House of Splendors is there, like lots of people are hanging around because, you know, the House of Splendors is there, and shit like that. This will probably be which tells me, okay, done. You're done for the week. Oh no, we actually do get to see this. Where's the school? Oh yeah, the corner we haven't used yet. I am interested to see what the final touch will be. It might be the school, but I feel like there might be one thing I'm missing that they're gonna like build up or whatever. This is pretty sick for a school, must be said, even in construction. That's deep. Maz always has a right answer, but history doesn't. Kid's a philosopher and he doesn't even know it. Huh. I imagine that must look a lot funnier if you're a Rogadin or like a meal. You're Rogadin or what do you call them? Like a meal or like I forgot their name. Like the big lion dudes. Hrothgar, that's it. Oh, well, what do you know? Alright, steady on. You're like valid, but also steady on. Hey. If that's the case, I can just hand in one at a time now. Yeah, there's one of the guys hosing. Send me an imager album. It's like under. Yeah, that's the individual image. I thought I'm not sure. I did. I think Imager's like screwing you over here. Still, even that's pretty telling. Like, the entire House of Splendors is just not there. You know, like all the building work, a lot of there's all the stalls, not even all the stalls, like a lot of the stalls. They'd be intense, but like the actual big House of Splendors building that Rowena's in and all that, with like the extra floors and stuff, all that's just not there. In fact, a lot of the building work around Mor Dhona is visibly not there, even in just that one shot. Which is pretty interesting. Oh hey. We can like stick it on a little bit in. the awkward thing is I have to like split up to split like this. So you can't do it while in the donation menu flares. You can armory shift? Why so? Absolutely. Undoable. I just realized that probably means I have to give them one of these in a bit to make up the thing. Actually, building up Hien's a lot of it. It's already pretty well done. You know, it's pretty built in and everything. We make it a wee bit ornate, probably wouldn't go amiss. Or, you know, like tidying up the walls a lot, and that in particular would do nicely. Alright, there's the link in chat. This imager was screwing you over. Under. That'll do. So there it is at the start. Actually, no, we'll do this in a sec. We'll do this, then we'll go to Mor Dhona and we'll just have like a side by side actually. Bless. I do like that all the books in the back already, I know. It's steady on usually. Bless. Oh, yeah, there's more kids in too. A few extras. One seat remains though. Just needs more walls and you're good to go. And this is where we are done for the week. Good stuff though. Farm's done, school's like probably half done or something. Almost there. Almost there. Alright. Let's see what we're doing. The gloom will make it a little awkward, but so like first person, yeah, I'll do it. So. So there's that. This is front one here, and if you this. I don't know how the reskill is better. That'll have to do, I think. Actually, there we go. Like, the tents and all up front, there's all those there. And then you look at it now and it's like, damn. This is the entire House of Splendor's castle fortress that's all the way up and done. There actually are comparison shots in the album, fair enough, but you know, we might as well do this. This is down by here. Like, night and day, like, that stall moves and all that. That's a pretty telling one, but like, yeah, probably wasn't as well as, it seems to be like this is like wherever near the front end versus what it is now. Whereas people actually did capture like the, pardon me, the stages of Idleshire. Should about diamond, so chat will stay over the thing. I'll look at the what is the Scion's base now in the pub. Actually, no, that's the hall. Is the other side of this shot. And Trill is nigh, and then video 2.0 open beta. Damn. Oops. That one. This one. There's also no bar, no door to Scion HQ. Ah. That's interesting. Yeah, like there's that's the Ironworks bay door and stuff. More shots of the thing, and then, you know, again, all built up. This shot is just more of the same. Like there's a shot where like he's standing like basically around here, and you know, looking down, it's like that's the highest you could go, just around like there, overlooking the aetheryte. Of course, now you can go all the way up there. Reach all the way up here now. Main one I want is like a good look at the. It was an empty room with a fireplace until you moved from the Waking Sands. Ah, so that's why it literally got very built up whenever you guys showed up. That's nifty. Alright, there's a shot of this big bridge part, which is still, you know, being done, I suppose. It's waterway, actually. This is, yeah, no, this is the waterway then. But it shows it here, like under construction from underneath versus it finished. That's probably the closest shot we'll get of the other way around. And here it is now. And it's a small shot, but you know, again, you can see that it's a bit more built up than it was in the beta, I think. But it is that rough idea of, you know, like, not much there. Walls aren't as impressive. Of course, all this wasn't built up. The rawest recorded Mor Dhona. Only the first 40 seconds. That's a big end of them. There won't be any audio, I don't think. Partially because I don't have my headphones on to hear it anyway, but yeah, might as well. Yoo-hoo. It's interesting to see what's changed and what hasn't. Like all the elemental stats that are on his screen and shit. Like that's base that have all been listed out in main game, but when you think about it, those just kind of got rolled into Eureka, didn't they? It's interesting to think about. God, it's probably Pirates, Ruins of Riches, Insensibility. Probably Pirates, yeah, that's Dungeon 1. Ruins of Riches, I don't think it's a dungeon. That looks like a lab. Ah, look at it. Back a wee bit. Like the walls over there basically aren't there. All of this is gone. There's not even the scaffolding to build the upper archways or anything. Even like the tents aren't actually here. Like the splendor tents and all that stuff aren't actually there. I guess there's just nothing there. That's wild. Let's tidy that up. It's nuts to see. We got history lessons while we're at it. Yeah, let's shuffle on. Actually, I think of one thing to grab on here. So we touch on one of them anyway. You. What's up, Radovan? Stone tomes. Bless. You, Sophie. Even she calls it stone tomes. Yeah, we'll actually take this moment then. It's good to see that it actually was a whole thing that did get built up and had work done to it across patches and stuff. Leading up to being, you know, this spiraling fort town. It actually was a tiny little trader post where barely anyone was. That wasn't just, you know, I guess cheek or sass, I suppose. It actually did get built up like crazy. That's fun. Let's take this moment. Go bully some shit. I don't have either of these two unlocked. I'm pretty sure I can't do them even with my gear solo just because I don't have healing. But I absolutely can do these three. This one's gonna be awkward, but I can do it. The other two are nothing. Let's go. Bully some primals. Starting with Muggles. Like any good Dark Knight, the Muggles must die first. This one is basically just keep racking the adds, which is actually an interesting flip of the standard fight, where the standard fight you want to jump all the adds and then the king. Here you have to fight all the adds because the king's invincible while they're up, but he keeps giving bits of his health to them. until a certain point where, you know, you just run him down. Like right now. Yo, Frey, get in. Get on it. Minute and 31. You love to see it. Dark Knight's such a good class. It's just such a good class. Kingly Whisker. I haven't got one of those before. Crafting there. Probably do something with that. I don't know, just scrap the ribbon. I already have a ribbon-free aesthetics in my glamour anyway, because all classes can use any of them. Let's rip off the bandit. This one is a bit awkward because he, you know, if he knocks you off, you're still fucked. And it still takes a little bit anyway of time to do, because he has a move that traps you in rock for a bit. You just kind of have to wait and watch unless I manage to get the Frey off while I'm trapped. It's nice, that's right. A lot of them have their own, like, yeah, eruptions. They have their own actual special weather conditions I never paid attention to. But it's neat that they thought to do that. I kind of deny that accusation, I admit. You're just kind of objectively right on that one. Didn't get him off in time. I saw it too late. Oh well. The sub-polka streets of Granite. He's doing it again, isn't he? This is why it's a little awkward. Titan puts you in timeout. You just kind of have to sit and watch as he tells you about, you know, Whimsel and colonization and imperialism towards his people. And he's right and all, but also... At least that one will not be anywhere just down. Biting. Bomb. Wait, what was that? The earrings. The other one is Shiva. think I could probably take Ravana Extreme well enough. Whatever the Fiends is, or Triad rather, is there. I could. Pretty sure because they're beefier still. On an Extreme solo, like, they'd probably just overpower my limited regenerative ability. Alright, back to you. It's very hard to resist the emoting during the freeze, honestly. Hey. It gets shinier when you like buff it up using the other item she drops, like the one of the tiers. But I got the fancy ice katana, the diamond ice katana, but none of the other weapons have really struck me. Oh well. Did actually find the thorough history of Mor Dhona buried in a Reddit post. I'll share if you had your fill, maybe add your fill and I can peek it later. Yeah, I think for now I'll peek at it later myself. I think that was a good gander we had there. Alright, what's our current state? We can run that, and we need to run that. So, I'm done below 50, it says Stasha because it's fast. Hello, Luigi. Hello. He's come creeping in. You woke up now, have you? Just sprinting raw ass through the dungeon. I am a tank and cannot be made to care. Red. Dodge for speed, I don't usually do that, doing it for giggles. Parts of Camp Revenant's Toll 1.0 is built on top of. Ah, yeah, like the camp and shit they mentioned that's like outside the thing. They talk about that. Like, it used to be a camp here. It's gone now. With the Doman kids, you actually had to go looking for quote-unquote treasure, and you found like a wine or something that was there, like only made there, or was like specific to that region. It was like very special. rare special shit, and, you know, that's the treasure, and they give it to the guy, the Rogadin guy who effectively runs Mor Dhona, which is a lovely recapture. We had neat callbacks. Alright, hello everyone. Gather up. The ones arrived in 2.3. You can see NPCs during Mor Dhona construction too. That's right, because it's around that point they mentioned building it up. Now they have like the Domans on hand to help. Yeah, like they have the Doman refugees to help, like, build it up, because that's when he talks about wanting to expand it and all. So there you go. That's nifty. You cannot escape my long blade. The dock in Limsa was built out for a place to put the rogue guild. That's right, because that was added in the patch, because that came with the Domans brought in the the ninja studies and stuff, or Yugiri did. And you had the rogues to start with. The rogue story job quest line is actually, on top of just being a genuinely good quest line, like with these really nice characters, and it really adds a lot of stuff to like Limson and stuff. There are like they're effectively like pirate cops, but an actually interesting kind of cop, where they just legitimately keep proper law and order instead of causing problems. But they're fun characters, and then a lot of the quest stuff where you use your invisibility skill to like walk around NPCs and all that. It's interesting that Ninja was put on a patch. It was the only one ever done. I guess because they had the time to do it. That it was planned during ARR, because Ninja is one of the OG classes in Final Fantasy, and they just never got around to it, or just couldn't get it in time. Everyone asked where Ninja was at 2.0. Oh, there we go. So they had to. The Domans coming in probably made that easy. I wonder how much of the Domans being added was to facilitate that, or if it was just like a neat thing they could add on to her and take advantage of later. Oh, you survived at that time. Get. My stuff is built up a lot, and while some of it is just extra aesthetic stuff I had all along, at least a good part of it is also because I have so many classes. So many classes at different states and levels. Not all of them overlap because fucking DPS. Yeah, it was most likely sidelined for dev time, and it just worked out that way. Year 50 and 70. Yeah, we can run the 50 so I like to take and the port keep, because I know that one off by heart. Because I use this one for grinding, it's like speed grinding light for Heaven's Word relics. Because you can slam it out in like 6 minutes if you have it down right. And actually the fastest I've done it with was actually like under 6 minutes, I think like 5:40, and that was a Black Mage. Because Black Mage with Thunder 3 and 4 just proccing all the time. Because of the Black Mage abilities. It's also powerful enough with, level 70, level 70 odd Black Mage power and shit that you just Kill actually. Not everyone needs to die here, we just need to kill them at the door, actually, I forget. It's been a bit since I run the dungeon like this. That's the instincts are still there. Because I got it in a roulette, and I was healer at the time. I was kind of like, man, why aren't we speeding through this? Yeah. Tank is fending gear. Healers have all their healing gear. Casters all share one gear set. Everyone the melee ranged DPS have one set as well. I actually forgot that. And Dancer got added in to use the same set. And then all the melee DPS all have their own individual sets, because fuck you. I had to kill one of the guys in there specifically so I didn't summon the Demon Pal, but it also doesn't matter because the Demon Pal will die just as fast. There is that at least. I was genuinely delighted when Reaper was announced to be using casting naming gear, like Dragoon's gear, because like, excellent. That is true. Samurai and Monk do stack up. Scouting's ninja only though. And Dragoons had to be special before Endwalker. Like, you can kind of get, they all have different focuses, like, among themselves, what they want for their attacks and what they want for damage and all that. Some of them have, like, are better off with certain skill, like, stats prioritized. It's still kind of hell, though. It is just still kind of hell, though. Didn't mean that provoke me to swallow. I just want to do that, but whatever. I think I just iced that guy. Over here is a guaranteed rock. These stones actually sell, well, at least for a time, sold for actually a really good bit, like near 10,000 for one. And I made, for a time, a bit of my fortune off of just collecting them during runs while I was doing the Heavensward relics to sell them on. But then, at some point, the wider market base seemed to realize that. So they all began undercutting like crazy, and they came down to like fucking 3,000 a pop. So I just have like 40 of those stones in one of my retainers' inventories, just waiting for the day that everyone forgets about them, but people still need to buy them. Go to hell, you giant demon rock. This is where we just run through and have everyone follow. This is the part where Black Mage makes most of its speed. Because Dark Knight, and other tanks will have to gather everyone up, but towards the end here, and beat on him to open the final door. So you need to kill all the succubuses to open the final door. The Black Mage, with its Thunder spells, which can just be instant cast as you run if you get like a cheeky proc. So you swift cast one, like Thunder 4 the first set, and then just rely on procs going to keep slapping it into people to get more procs. and hope that enough of them survive that you can get your extra procs. Everyone pile up. Basically, you just kill everything mercilessly as you go, just shredding them as you run, so you just save a ton of time. Like Black Mage had the easiest time with using this method for grinding light for its Heavenward Relic. I forget if I ever told you that, Evan, that I went and did the Heavenward Relic not just twice, once for Dragoon, once for Dark Knight, but a third time for Black Mage. So there you go. Six minutes, which is on the better side for Dark Knight times, actually. And in case you're wondering, yes, that did happen during... That was one of the... Like, getting Black Mage, leveling it, and getting it all set up and everything was actually one of the earlier things I did during the almighty Stormblood drought. Waiting for Chris to finally go and play Stormblood. I got up to a lot. I might even like look around and see if I can make a list of all the things I got up to. We'll actually do this, and I'll park this at 7, and then I'll park it there for 6. I wanna game a system, or 3. For this, actually, I will swap to healer. It's because in Alliance raids, at least the early Alliance raids, I don't like doing tank so much because it's just kind of fussy. Yep. I think they were examining my gear to see what it was. That's funny. You say business? You did, actually. Hang on. Shiva backflip. Look at that wild backflip. That's well timed. I guess I should have asked if you wanted to pile in on this. I suppose you still can. I can just roll out and I can roll back in. I'm just running a Labyrinth of the Ancients for book. I suppose it depends like what's in your book actually. What raid did you get? I've gotten Labyrinth of the Ancients like 3 weeks in a row, which is kind of lightly maddening. Whenever it's done skiff, it's been just, you know, absolutely precious because, you know, the Tombstone event's still ongoing. Which maybe it wasn't 3 weeks, maybe it was just like... No, technically 3 weeks behind this week, actually. Ah, you got World of Darkness. World of Darkness is at least a, well... It's a fun one to get, provided you get, an alliance that aren't either all new or like are paying attention enough to not die. That's the other reason why I run healer for Dunskiff and these ones. I have on at least 2 occasions saved, like, you know, I saved a fight, like the, what's it called, the giant Ahriman fight, Angermanu in World of Darkness, just through sheer resurrecting everyone and keeping everyone alive for it. Because someone has to. And then Dunscape is obvious, because the opening fight is always just, you know, like Resurrection Hell. And I'd rather trust myself managing the healing and resurrection in it than I would, you know, trust random healers. That sounds horrible, but also you have not had my luck with white mage puppies. I'll just put it like that. Oh hey. Yo. This was another thing that's happened, by the by. This is you probably saw him. Actually, you would have. Yeah, he was in on Resident Evil 8 stream. There's Nathan. We managed to talk Nathan. David did it more than me. We talked Nathan to play Final Fantasy XIV spreads. Evan, your legacy continues. Nah, he's just at the end of A Realm Reborn right now. Here's a keyboard. I hope actually he's talking to me on Discord. Pardon me. Oh, so he's just passing through. His needs evangelist since the start is the slowest part. Yeah, I feel that. But honestly, you know, like, you get the right, you know, people who are, especially people who are like pretty fond of or used to RPGs, I find, and like they can, the slow start will gel with them. We have 3 samurai. God damn. Better not forget my card. Good, because I need these. Also, these have been this for a while, and given I haven't been actively pursuing these ones, just been occasionally taking them from roulettes when I do roulettes as the 80 classes, or occasionally getting them from the journals, I feel like that speaks enough to how long I've been in the purgatory. Yeah, that's true. The slow start is the first game of 4. And the games after are like bangers in their own ways. And one of them is just a banger all around for what we hear and see and what it promises me. Yeah, well, he's fucking going for it. Well, you get a card. And you get a card. You get a heal. You get a heal. And we're gonna buff with that. Let's do that. Anything over there? Attack. Bing bong. Got disease. We'll sort that in a sec. Yep. That's not crit. Yeah, no, you're on. Did they res him? Or is he just going back? Alright. That was always a bit messy. I didn't touch an enemy yet. Fuck's sake. That is something that annoys me. Even when you're clearly in a fight because your party has started stuff, you need to tap an enemy, otherwise your card doesn't count for your divination meter. Which is annoying. Yeah, he is using the free trial that you play to level 60 and includes the first expansion, Heavensward. Don't worry, yep, he is. Don't think he's bought it yet. I'm pretty sure he hasn't yet. He's making the most of the full expansion. So I know I mainly say that because, you know, it is or was on sale. Where are you? Fortunately, the White Mage here is actually intent on playing healer properly instead of just being a DPS bot and occasionally resurrecting only when either I died or things are really going to shit. Which is usually the point where it's too late and we're cascading unless, you know, we manage to lock out, which is a lot of my grief with White Mage players. And this is why Chris is a better White Mage than he ever thinks he is, because he actually fucking heals. And I know they have a lot of DPS moves and options, and the best the healer DPS, and they're actually really good at DPS. Actually, I don't care. Like fuck you, like fuck you. You have a main job. Don't forget it. You DPS when you get the chance. Bing bong. Now you're dying because there's an enemy attacking you. Well, that's unfortunate. This is like not the way this fight is usually meant to go. Usually everyone trails it over there and you can stand back and heal from there, but we just live in hell today, I guess. Glad someone is saying that. I guess this is just what we're living with now, huh? You're eye level 5269 and the Shadowbringer's cap is 530. Jesus. Keep busy, you're almost there. Especially since they don't have the thing where you can just buy the top end gear, I assume. Right now, all the top end gear is going to be relic and rating, isn't it? I'm hoping we can still get a bit of that in, like before Endwalker and whatever. Whenever they add in the tombstone buy gear, it's just the eye level cap. I am Alliance B, so I am the middle. 2 healers, 2 ranged. We should be fine to let, you know, the tank and 3 samurai deal with it. Can augment the best crafted set to 520. It is pretty neat that they let you get it that far. You know, like craft it and then augment it up to that. I assume the relic gear must be the one that gets to 530. And raid gear probably also gets to 530, the savage stuff. Savage or ultimate or whatever. There's always, like, even though, like, the timekeeping said it, or whoever said it, even despite all that, and the fact that we have 3 samurai, there's always, you know, he always gets, you know, like, someone who's like, well, I'm not going to stand there, even though 4 are going ahead of me. Always buy your way to almost the top on catch-up patches. That's pretty good. I think with a suitable weapon for both astrology and there we go. For like astrology and dark knight, I would actually be able to get to 500, I think, like eye level. Maybe. So I have the, I don't know if I have it on Dark Knight, but I do have the Exarchic gear all for this. I just need a weapon. Actually, no, I don't have the Exarchic gear for this. What do I have the Exarchic? I must have it for Dark Knight then, which is 490 right now. Is this us? No, it's not us. Sick. We can sit around for a bit. That, ping you, do we get a different one? No, we got a blue, excellent. Have it. It's us. Food now, I can have 200,264 HP. Jesus. 100,000 HP tank guy. I'm what, like 180? I think like 160 or 180, I forget what. Up there. Soon I will be part of the 200,000 HP tank gang. Well, soon. At some point. Well, maybe. For a little bit before they then do the stat squish. It'll be 40,000. I mean, that will be an impressive metric on its own after a bit, once, you know, the memories of 200,000 fade. But, nonetheless. We have it a little awkward, because we have to run to the one straight at the back, I think. Yeah, we do. It'll be interesting to see. pop that Leopold. It's walking right through the horde. A's is done, C's is done, R's is done. Bomb has gotten massive. There we go. After the redemption is right, because look who's waiting for us here. Redemption indeed, this weekend, or last weekend there. Their king walks among us. Either, like, our healer is probably the best bet. You can stand exactly inside that room, you don't need to stack up, guys. You can stand like, exactly at the edge of that ring and still be able to reach him as a melee DPS while being protected by the comet, but it's a little tricky to pull off, so don't blame people for not trying it. I don't even know how that happened. I'm going to die. Trying to heal some of that. This is probably the worst I've seen this go on, but I won't lie to you. We're good. I cursed it by referencing his kid. Eye patch. You basically never see like the samurai / striking gear. Just right in the middle here. In this, every time I run it, it's usually like this, even this is pretty rare. It's shame because it's kind of sick. Really not too. No, I'm not getting that unless everyone else does literally abandons it. Let's see if we can actually not die here. Let's see if someone gets greedy, even as we all want to not be. You actually kind of don't want him to move to the center, I don't think, because that way he has to You know, walk back a bit before he does the ancient flourish. When you see him walking back, then you know. Oh, we're fine. Okay, no, we're fine. They misunderstood his message and moved to the center. They thought he meant everyone should run to the center. But this turned to lava in the middle. We're bombed. Yeah, there we go. This is always the part of this that sucks. Oh, that's why you keep him out of the center for a bit. That way you can see him run back and then you get a little edge. I don't think that's necessarily true, but sure. It's more advantageous for us, at least. If they're playing, actually. See if they actually listen to this coordination. Right here. Yep, good luck, Shion. Oh, that's probably not happening. They don't seem. Oh. Well, they are new to this, so they're probably just a bit nervous about it. But it is, you know. Just go for it, we'll keep you alive. Maybe. I acknowledge we've not had the greatest track record of that, but you know. We'll do it. Yeah, we got a lot of new ones. Let's go. These people who haven't made it to the end of Stormblood. One of those days. We really need to get him like over here with the thing shield on top. Should have rescued, but you know, Rin didn't connect in time. Oh, I haven't seen that one before, actually. I think I've already like tried. Either I have it already or I looked at them. I was like, that's pretty sick. I forget. There you go. We're not getting it anyway. Let's say mercy. Yay, 2. Bless. Alright. Where does this lead me? I've had such cursed luck with these fucking squares lately. Just can't get even a single line. It's hell, I tell you. Whatever. That's that end of it done. I think... what will I do? Well, we did the Doman Reconstruction bit, we did deliveries, which is a lot of gathering stuff, and even a bit of questing to unlock some of it. There's still 2 permanent ones to do, but I think I will just go get them later, given the time is like 25 to 11. So, I'm not going to end just yet though, we're going to have a little bit of fun. By which I mean I'm going to grind a level or so, a few levels. Level grinding method. Depending on how things go, I might even sneak another one of these in the week to do the other deliveries and try and finish the thing. So actually, is there a reminder about it? Yes. And I'll do the other alliance routes when I find the moment. But, yeah, it is Dark Knight. That is... Yeah, Dark Knight has all the exarchic stuff. It's all suited and booted. Just needs just the weapon isn't, but, you know, I'll keep the weapon as it is. Probably. I'll decide if I'm keeping to that later or not. For now, though, current leveling project, Ninja. You love to see it. Floors 51 to 60 basically always have people in it getting experience. Basically, just run these floors yelling, screaming, killing shit. Yeah. This until like level 50 or something, and then you can start doing actual experience giving roulettes. So almost there. Like ninja from Ninja, from what I've played so far, especially with Powers of the Day giving me access up to my level 6 and stuff, actually a really fucking rad class. Like, it just oozes style all over the place. Now, a lot of the classes already do, of course. But A, you know, unique running animation, which has like a slightly different variant for sprinting when you have your weapons out. Your jumps while moving with your weapons out turn into front flips. The ninjutsu mechanic is kind of a fighting game mechanic where you just have to put the right inputs in the right order to get specific abilities out. Which means you need to remember like you get 7 or 8 combinations, so you need like extra brain cells. And just a lot of its attack animations and stuff are super flashy and very fun. It's like attack string DPS is a kind of on the low side, and then everything else you have around it is basically a nuclear bomb. Like so. pretty sick. And of course, you know, trick attack, which is you combine one of your ninjutsu abilities to be able to use it without having to turn invisible, so you can actually use it on bosses. And that just lets everyone do basically 15% extra damage. It's like, oh yeah, this just is great. This class is just very stylish violence, while also being a sick support. It's great. Like so, just look at those animations, it just goes. Just dart into people, like just turning briefly invisible or flipping all around them to gank the shit out of them. It has like this level of flash. It's a bit distinct over all the 1 to 50 skills of like the other AOR classes, for the most part. So you can kind of tell it came a bit after when they had, you know, time and freedom. Yeah, this is true. That's a good way of putting it. It is the line between roguelike and bloody palace is grayer than thought. I think part of what it is that the randomization, until you get like way deeper into the palace, I guess, within like floors 1 to 100 anyway, the randomization is enough to matter for variety, but it isn't enough to like just ruin you. It's not enough to fuck you over. I'm gonna go look for that fucking treasure, because you know, we're gonna get at least one on this run. But also being essentially a bloody palace thing where you can bring new classes to get experience for them, but also get the like experiment and learn all their mechanics and flex of them basically is really good. I am not gonna. God damn it. Treasure's in this room, you just didn't get it. I'm gonna be slightly upset at you. Treasure. Yep. I realize that's dragging it out for them, but also, you know. Ordinarily I wouldn't, but A, I kinda want it, and B, you know, why not? That one's not actually true. One of the minions I got from the Horde I sold for like fucking 300,000 within like an hour putting it up. The Horde drops are actually pretty good. But, yeah. Alas. But I'll not make them wait after this. Granted, that is like a rare drop within the pool table and all, but you know, it's always worth a shot. Yeah. Oh, there's the doorway out at least. Is it probably enough guys? No. Well, actually, with him maybe. Him. Oh. That was another one. Nice of it to do that. Well done. No, not what's up here? That's the one of the turn. Passive one. There we go. We already triggered the trap in this room, but have it. Nothing you need is luring or landmine go off. Although as a party, like well, landmine sucks even harder as a party, especially with no healer. Luring though isn't too bad. It's a bit early to Manticore. Do we have like several? Where's the current passage? Oh, that one. But yeah, like, I think part of it is like the randomization isn't enough to like overly screw you until you're in like the explicitly super hard and kind of like actually kind of blatantly unfair levels, which are, you know, deep in the super optional part. And fuck. And, you know, that, and it doesn't you know, it doesn't randomize enough to annoy me. That's kind of what, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, a lot of my issue with roguelikes, I was beginning to feel it with Loop Hero as well before, you know, I put that on the burner again. It's just that, like, it feels as way too, like, a lot of them will just feel way too dependent on, you know, getting lucky on that randomization more than anything you can actually do to prevent it. I was feeling that especially towards the end of, my, Loop Hero streams, where it's kind of like, it feels like nothing I personally particularly do will, are they fighting? They are fighting something. Loop Hero, when I got like the chapter 2 boss up, like it took forever to be able to pull that off, and it didn't feel like it was I was gradually getting better by unlocking more services and stuff like that to make up for it. Like the services that you got in the town, except for the ones unlocked on the classes, seemed like kind of superfluous, honestly. Like the potions were like only very barely helpful in, you know, like surviving to the end of a run that was already fucked that you had to leave from, rather than actually be a thing to help you even any sort of odd. Again, it just felt like I was having to struggle, roll the dice against an impossible number wall to get anywhere, it felt like. Whereas at least with this, it does blur, you know, it does have uses like, you know, it's effectively a bloody palace. You get all your level 60 stuff, so you can experiment with new classes as well as getting a really good experience for them. And also, it is not actually anywhere near as dependent on the random rolls as actual roguelikes are, in my experience. Because a lot of the palace's antics can be mitigated by like sneaking, like creeping around the walls of rooms, sneaking around enemies, picking your fights very carefully. Sometimes, like, you know, when you get to like floor 150 plus, then it starts just actively fucking you. That's when, you know, it starts getting tilted against you, where individual enemies can just be run into by themselves if you're not careful and all that, but... And sometimes even if you are careful. And that's where it begins to get into it a bit. But for the most part, this manages to avoid it. Which is why I think I've taken to it as I have. Those solo runs are actually quite fun. They're a massive time commitment, but they are fun. Now we stand and fight it. I mean, even with me running off to grab that piece of the hordes, it's still pretty fast run. I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, if your game is just way too dependent on the random, just to like pull off what it has to do, then just kind of won't fucking like it. We'll just kind of suck the big one. At that point, it's just kind of like, well, I can't do anything about this, so you're just kind of fucking me about what's even the point of it. Or anyways. Like, I was feeling that in Loop Hero, it was just kind of, you know, whatever I could discern about, like, you know, stats and stuff for builds, felt basically irrelevant next to the game was giving me good enough gear to actually survive the shit it was throwing at me. But so it goes. Man with a, you know, there's a big katana and a Namazu head standing here in the dark room, just in the middle of floors in the Palace of the Dead. What did we get? Probably not worth it because it's only the one bag, but you know, good luck out. Of course we didn't. Yeah. All those fucking treasure dungeons have really built this up a bit, huh? I'll have to sort through all this later. Crab cakes. And let's go sell cards and do the cactbot, why not? That's one thing I could do if I do another stream of this week where I'm just fucking about. I do chocobo racing because I haven't done that in a while. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. I was so hoping that I always wasn't expecting to get 2. I was hoping to get the 3rd. That would have been absolutely magical. but oh well. Shit. But yeah. That was a risk on the first one since you guaranteed 70 at 9. Yeah, but I always like to, you know, if you can possibly chance the 1, 2, 3, like, I usually take the chance. As it's not as uncommon as you might think. Not to say that I ever get, you know, like 2 in a row like that or 2 in a batch like that. It's usually always just 1 a batch, but, you know. And 1 a batch with some reliability. Yeah, that brings us to near midnight. So that's gonna be me for the night. Thanks for coming out and thanks for playing as well earlier on, Evan, and thanks for coming out and watching and chatting. Again, if, you know, God did many things. You know, deliveries, Doman Reconstruction, a lot of little quest lines to unlock some more custom deliveries. A lot of gathering, a history lesson on Mor Dhona, which was really neat. Alliance Rid, Dark Knight soloing shit for Wonder Steels, and Palace of the Dead run to level Ninja a bit. Got a level on it. I've been up to much in the purgatory zone. Actually, I will show you a teaser for when we get to, unless you already know about, which you might, I'm not sure, or if you've noticed or not. But a teaser for whenever we actually do reassemble for the post-game stuff. I got a house in Shirogane. Ta-da! But you'll get to see the inside whenever we reunite, and then I can show you and Chris together. And I'm proud of it. It's come along nicely. Oh, you already went in? Yeah, you already knew about it. I figured you would have noticed at some point or another. When did you notice? Out of curiosity, did you see me milling about in it at one point? Like just on the friend list, or? I went in the Bloody Palace video. Okay. Bloody Palace, I did read incorrectly on that. I just said Bloody Palace as well. Palace of the Dead, yes. Forgot if I went to it in that or not. But there you go, yeah. You've known for a while. Well, it'll be a treat for Chris at least. Maybe. Ah, Lucy's been through and harvested her batch. In exchange for an onion to level my... I can't believe he hates my house. I know, right? I don't know why he doesn't like the FC house. Why he doesn't go near it ever. It's like, it's a good spot to hang around whenever we're gathered for stuff. Maybe the novelty of me having a house will keep him around for a little bit in that until he wanders off. Out there seeing it. Yeah, Lucy has like tendency stuff to be able to teleport here and use the garden. She does a lot of gardening. We're talking about me. It's not that I hated the FC house, it's that I couldn't go full weeb with it. I mean, think about it like this. You have a method of getting here, I think, I have a state teleportation open, you should be able to use it, I think. A relatively cheaper method of getting to Doma. Or this is the Far East. And you got a little house away from home here. You can come in, relax, lie about. Probably feast, I don't know. Most of it's there for show anyway. Just because that's how it is. But no, it's bit. You can teleport via me, but it's not on your list. Okay, can you like go into the... Okay. That's fiddly. I think I probably have to add you as a tenant, but I've added David and Lucy as tenants because they added me to theirs because they have a house. Lucy, you know, that's apart from the fact that they've done it, so, you know, reciprocate. Lucy also uses the garden, and that's what David's chocobo. The God Emperor bird just parked here for giggles. Oh yeah, speaking of which, this is my chocobo now. I mean, part of the reason the FC room is sparse is I actually pillaged quite a few things out of it to bring here, to put in here. But I should make something of the FC house now that I have this, you're right. My like FC room needs to be like repurposed and given some arcane use. I gotta fix that. That's another project on the list, I gotta do something with that. Leave it with a weird message so anyone who's new or whatever comes in and sees it, goes in and sees like a hell room dedicated to like a Scatter statue or something. But that's things to consider later. I need to find more stuff. More stuff that I can then put in it, basically. Probably make it a big trophy room, probably. I know there's like bits of furniture that use bits from bosses you'd be on Extreme or Ballad or Savage and all that. So I could probably do that. Going killing bosses for their bits and see if I can make their fancy gear and then just fill the room with all those. There's ideas, there's things I must do. We'll get there. Yeah, just one at it. Seasons will be finished with their stuff. Go get thing. But yeah, that'll be the stream for the night. Thanks for coming out and watching, thanks for chatting. Basically, if it doesn't look like Chris is doing anything on like Thursday or Friday, I will probably steal one of those days and I'll go do more shit, you know, like the rest of the custom deliveries. Let's see. I know, I got a third retainer. And I can actually show you the reason I got a third retainer actually while we're here. Because there was a specific reason for it, it wasn't just to have a Fisher one. It was for all this. It was for all this. It's just all like the 50, 60, 70 sets for all the classes. Because I'd gone slightly insane on top of this leveling, you know, like the main set of classes I was using to like high like 70s and like 80. You know, also unlocked a whole bunch to fuck around with when trying getting their gear. Like I have ninja stuff already set up to go get it. Like it's 50 and 60 stuff, I don't know. I needed somewhere to put all of it, so I slipped a bit extra to Square Enix to get a third rotator. So it goes. Yeah. It's just lovingly sleeping. But yeah. Actual end time, I think. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. But I haven't reviewed it all to see all the ones I don't need anymore yet. But given there's still classes I'm going to probably use soon, and then I'll trim it all down. And then I'll probably still keep the third retainer for stuff anyway. But until I start doing that, here it all stays basically. As depending on how long purgatory, continues to go, as there's always that risk that it'll continue to go. Well, let's just say the race is on to see if I get Ninja to 70 before Chris gets the crystal on that post game. You should. Unless I go nuts for it, you should. But it's a great game. I'm very taken before too. It's just fun to play around and honestly fun to do stuff in. Even if I am kind of straining against the limits of things I can do here at the Stormblood post game, but not able to do any of the Stormblood post shit, like other stuff. Maybe next time we'll try PvP and just get a start on that as well, as that's the thing I have to do. I say have to. It's the thing I want to do for Glamours. Alright, it's now over midnight, so I'm gonna have to shuffle on. Good night. Thanks for coming out, and if Chris hasn't done anything by whatever point, then yeah, we'll be back to do more miscellaneous actions. Maybe a bit of PvP, a bit of Chocobo racing, maybe a bit of solo Palace of the Dead, to work my way back up to the point where I can make the stab at 150 to 200 again. Wouldn't do that, if I was doing that the whole stream, it would be the entire stream and more, because it takes ages. But we'll certainly do a bit of it probably. Fuck. Alright. Good night. And, yeah. Probably see you later in the week. Maybe not. Maybe not. Well, actually, if Chris does his post-game stuff before the weekend, then yes, you will see me. We will be here later in the week, just for a different reason. And now it started to rain. Oh. Good night. See you around.